Hi, my name is Daniel Dorr. I'm the Senior Director of Marketing for our Business Plus Finance, HR, and Payroll solution. And with me today is my colleague, Jennifer Nail. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Dan. Appreciate it.
And Jennifer, you're the manager for our Business Plus Professional Services team. And over the last few years, you've done a lot of different upgrades for folks. We know people,
Absolutely.
yeah, sometimes people are a little worried about upgrades. Can you talk a little bit about maybe why people upgrade and what the upgrade process might look like for districts?
Sure, absolutely. So, there's a lot of reasons why people might choose to upgrade. First and foremost on that list is just to take advantage of those new features and new functionality. In our last two releases in 7-Eleven Business Plus, we had several administrative updates. We brought in the Employee Online Attachments feature, and we had over 200 support fixes with that release. And then in 1912, that version is cross-browser compatible, so no longer dependent on Internet Explorer, which is awesome, and usable on iPads and all of that. And then we've got the dynamic online help that came with that version. So what that means is that rather than having static PDFs in the help lookup within the software, you actually link out to a page that is updated on a regular and frequent basis by our technical writing team. So you always have the latest help available. And then we added some enhancements to the way that payroll is processed in 1912. And then additional reasons why people might want to upgrade is just, for better supportability. We support the current version and one version back. When it's tax time, if you are on a version prior to that, you'll have to do a backport. And we want to make sure that we do as few of those as possible throughout the year. And it just makes it easier for the help desk, the services and support teams to be able to diagnose and resolve your problem if you're on a more current version. Staying current, making sure that you can take advantage of the latest features and the enhancements. And when there's like a new feature that we need to roll out quickly, such as FFCRA, if we have everyone on similar versions, we're able to deliver more elegant solutions to those issues as they come up. And then, really finally, the last thing is on the more current versions, 7-Eleven and above, you get to take advantage of those monthly maintenance releases, which means you're always getting the latest and greatest that there is for that particular version without having to rely on, did I apply this patch or that patch or the other patch? They're all together and you get them in a monthly maintenance pack.
That sounds great. Thank you. And as we talk to districts, what should they expect the upgrade process to look like? How challenging is this for people today?
Yeah, it's a fairly straightforward process. So the big process begins by reaching out to your account representative and just saying that you're interested in an upgrade. What they're going to do is they're going to have you complete our upgrade survey. And that upgrade survey is going to get shared with our product team, our services team, and our development team. And what we're really looking for in that upgrade survey is, do you have any custom that we've developed for you previously? What's that going to look like to either replace that, or perhaps it's even in the software currently and we don't need to replace it. We're also going to be looking for things like specialized configuration that you might have at your district. And then after we review that and have a phone call with you, we'll work with you to determine what version is going to be the right version for you, whether that's 1912 or 7-Eleven. Another thing we also look at is state regulatory. So, do we need to do something with the state regulatory in your state before moving you to 1912, that sort of thing. So after we decide which version is going to work for you and you guys sign your work order, then we'll move on to installing in test. Once we have the software installed in test, our services team will take over and work with you on assessing what your needs are for the new features, doing the consulting, the training on those new features, going through with you all of the features that have come into the software since the last time you updated, making sure that you have awareness of everything that's happened since you last engaged with services on an upgrade. And then we will kick off the testing process with you. We'll give you a detailed checklist of all of the things we need you to test in the software, and then we'll turn it over to the client to actually do that testing. Now, we don't leave you to do the testing on your own. We actually will stay with you and check in with you on a regular basis to make sure that you are testing the things that need to be tested, that you're thorough in that testing, to make sure that any questions that you have get answered, and most importantly, if there's any issues that come up, making sure that you're getting those support tickets in. Because the last thing we want to do is have any surprises at go live. We want to make that go live as smooth as possible, because we want to make sure that your employees and your teachers are paid accurately and that your district office operations are running smoothly.
And you mentioned a little bit about the custom retrofitting process.
Yeah.
Why is that so long? Why do we need that?
Yeah, so, there could be old custom that you have in place, and we want to do a thorough review of that with you. We want to make sure that those custom enhancements are still needed. Oftentimes, some of those customs have been incorporated into the base software. And then if there's anything that we do need to retrofit for you, we need to have that time to make sure that it functions exactly the way you need it to in the most current software.
And that sounds like you were saying the same for the training, is that we want to make sure, and the districts that you've deployed before, there may be functionality that they're not using today that we have in the new version, or we've made a lot easier for them to use.
Absolutely.
Solving problems they don't even know.
Absolutely, yeah. And so during that training portion and during the needs assessment portion, we will go over all of those features that have come into the software since the last time they upgraded, and even a little bit before if they didn't engage services for that, just to make sure that they're aware of everything that's available to them.
Sounds great. Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with other districts.
You're welcome.
If you've been thinking about doing an upgrade, please reach out to your sales rep and start that conversation. And as Jennifer said, it's more of a discussion to help you figure out whether it makes sense for you and what it might look like. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks, Dan.